And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second half of the broadcast. We just wrapped up with the initial quarterfinals and semifinals match. Now we're here with the upper semis. Again, Classic is the first player to make it through into the grand finals, and who will face off against Classic? He had a very intense series against Yang Yako, very intense. But now we're here to determine is it going to be a PvP or PvT finals as we jump into Creator versus Percival. Let's go. Let us go. Game 1 is going to be on Maganatha. We are loading on in. Bearing in mind, if you're curious as to where there are some of our regulars, I mean, Bjorn is rarely regular when it comes to these tournaments, but he's over in Canada, of course, for Stellafest. Likewise, so is Zound. But we are missing some of the other regulars, like Hero, for example. Regardless, we are jumping in and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. It is a Creator. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the other South Korean player, the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran. It is a Percival. Here we go. As we are settling in. Creator stream on Twitch. We did raid Creator yesterday. Yes, he has been streaming. Did raid him yesterday, if you recall. Or last night even, I should say. But here we go. So far we are going to be settling in, and we'll see how our players will approach this. Again, Percival, he's been improving so much this year, especially in this matchup. I would argue that Percival's strongest matchup is Terran versus Protoss. He has some very aggressive builds, but in recent times, along with other Terran players, of course, we have been embracing some longer and later games, having some more tame openers here, setting up into a third base and setting up to a 4-base economy as well. So we'll see how Percival will adjust his approach here on Maganatha, as this is a larger map. So far, economic start, going for a Rax expand. Does go for the Rax expand. We'll set up on the low ground. So economic start here by our Terran. And Creator just being as annoying as possible. Will delay the CC. Today, I mean, I guess technically today, because I think we rated him at like 1 AM. So technically. Would have been around midnight in Korea. As now Percival does scout nearby, he does check his third base location, fourth base location, and other third base location as well, looking for proxies, looking for pylons, making sure that there's no shenanigans here for Creator as he's setting up in the low ground with his bunker. So again, economic opener here by Percival. Following this up, no Reaper either, so 0 scouting information. Again, it's quite common to delay your early scouting, so no SCV scout, no Reaper scout is going into Reactor to Hellion for a much later scout from Percival. If Creator was doing something more devious, then it'd be a very delayed scout here. That's also why Percival was at least scouting his nearby locations, just to make sure there was no proxy, because he has no other information to work with. So he had to make up for that with scouting nearby. Oh, thank you, Druid. Thank you. Feliz aniversario. Ah. Gracias, gracias. So we have our attempted hallucination scout. It's going to be, zoned away. Zoned away by the Widow Mines. Percival does pick up, does head across. And Creator, he's now aware at least. He's aware of the drop, aware of the commitment. Hellions, they do slip in behind the mineral line, getting 3, getting up to 4 probes, not bad. 4 probe kills. Getting a full scout of the main. We can see it's just 3-gate blink. Oh, sorry, 2-gate blink even. So Creator cutting corners, being greedy. Mine shots going up. Decent splits. That's going to be 7 kills in total. 4 from the Hellions, 3 from the Widowmines. 1 more Widowmine into the main base, but Creator, he does take notice. Does pull away. It's 8 probes going down. The Widowmines are going to be saved. No shot. Ah! One more volley. Oh my god. Widowmines, they barely try to get away. 1 shot away from going down. Does he go for another unload? Oh, does boost the safety. Whew, does boost away to safety here. 8 probe kills. Bearing in mind the Creator, this build was meant to be greedy, was meant to be more economic, but he's taken so much damage here. Really, this will help even things up. But ideally, he wants to take a lead. Did want to take a lead here. As Creator did cut gateways, he cut gases, delayed his robo, all in favor of the third. So there's a better position for Percival, much better. And the pressure's on Creator. So Blink is done. Blink is complete. Gets 1 Marine. Just 1 Marine though. Does have to pull away. Percival building up his bio army. And Creator working towards Storm. Nice target firing. Gets superbs. This is all adding up. Stalkers, they go for the dive. They're going to get punished, though. Gets the tank, but we'll lose 2 Stalkers. 2 Stalkers go down. And we're waiting for the eventual move out. Percival, he is stuck at home until Stim finishes. Stim, combat shields. Waiting for all the upgrades. Even then, he may not commit, actually. He already has his 3rd CC. He may just play it slow. May just take it slow. And build up into the mid-game instead. Now zoning back the army. Creator loading up, head towards the main. Nice positioning. Tank volley goes up. Up! Oh my god. Nice tank shots where the Raven is sniped. Creator slowing down the push. Percival did overextend. At the same time, Zella dropping to the main base. Getting some damage. 3 ACVs. Some counter damage. Likewise, as Percival moves out, Creator once again another backstab. This time, though, getting into the mineral line properly. Okay. 7 SCVs, doesn't lose a single Zealot. Oh, does go further in, though. The Vikings will shut this down. As now Creator does take some losses. We'll lose all the charge lots. Let's go down. As Percival rotates. Remember, Storm is complete. We now have Colossus on the way. So Creator, he is building up more splash damage. But it's been a very kind of shaky back and forth so far. As Percival does stim in. We're still holding onto those Storms. Speaking of, this first, not bad. Connects with the Marines, zones away, buying time for the Colossus. And Percival, he pulls away. He pulls away. What do we have on the way? 4th CC. 4th CC. Ghost Academy. We spoke about this earlier, but it's very common nowadays, or much more common, for Terran players to not be as aggressive or as assertive, to gain control, back off, expand, and build up in towards a maxed out army. So we're settling in. Settle in. What are we missing? Percival, I'm sure he'll soon throw down the second starport into more Viking production. SimCity is lacking, and I will say that here on Maganatha, because the map is so large and because the entrances are so wide, it does take a lot of SimCity to secure yourself. That'll be working against Percival. Oh, another storm lands. Yeah, storm connects, Zells a rush on in, and tanks are going to be going down. That's another storm, and so far a better engage here for Creator. He's up the army. Percival, he has to pull away. And this is where Creator has to make a choice. Do we start to mass expand and invest into another robo, get ready for a longer and later game? Do we commit? This Percival is still shocking around, has a very Marauder heavy composition. We spoke earlier about just trying to wall up. We have a wall of sensor towers. Oh, we have the salvage. I haven't seen that in a while. Oh yeah, they can salvage. True. Forgot about that. There's the thing. So far, Storms, they once again do attempt to zone. Percival pushing into Colossus though. Massive swipes going off. Percival should not be this aggressive. He will be losing Ghosts. He has some expensive losses there. Losing 1, 2, losing all 3 Ghosts. Ay. Big losses for Percival. Again, he should not have been out here. Posturing is one thing, but remember, we're building up towards a longer game. Percival, he has to get out of here. Let's pull away, another massive storm. Creator, he has to be careful. Does pull back. He will lose his Colossus. No more splash damage. And without that, he has to get the hell out of here. And now it's Creator's turn. With Zealot reinforcements, though, he can commit. Can still keep pushing. But he needs more Warpins. Once again, running out of charge lots. Running out of Zealots. Snipe goes off. There's a recall. That's a brutal recall, though, as he will lose almost every Immortal. Initially, Creator, he was taking some better fights, some better trades, and really chased the army too far out. Creator, he got too excited. Percival gaining map control, securing his 4th base. Now we have a 5th and a 6th CC on the way. And Creator taking up into Skytos. There's our fleet beacon. Ready for that Tempest or Skytos transition. He's getting ready for it. Percival does pull away. And in the end, both armies, they bounce off each other. We're maxing out. Now, as we're both maxing out here, I'm actually favoring Percival's overall army composition. We are making 4 Liberators at a time. Liberator range is not really a factor here, unfortunately. Here comes a nuke. No reaction. Doesn't pull away. And is the mineral line within range? Ooh, it is. Very clearly within range. 15 probes go down. Very nice nuke. And again, Percival, he has a more refined army with Ghosts, with Vikings, with soon-to-be Liberators as well. Creator is very Colossus heavy. It was 1. And Creator, with this style, he either had to be more aggressive and more assertive, or switch into Skytoss in a more assertive way. He's getting a mothership. Liberators harass. We get some decent storms. Is also being dealt with, and Percival, he's going for the expansion. Show CMP. Oh, not quite. EMPs, they land on the Stalkers. The Liberators have to reposition. Double zone away. Nice EMPs. Get better connections towards the end. The mothership has arrived. You have to respect it. Mothership does help hold. Creator is holding on. The EMP lands. The Viking count is not that high though. But here come the Liberators. We have freedom. We have reinforcements. The mothership goes down. The base falls as well. And Percival is snowballing out of control. As you mentioned, Percival just has a superior army composition. He's built up to an almost perfect army with Lib and Ghost. With Lib and Ghost Viking. And Creator is still stuck with a gateway composition, still stuck with Mass Colossus. And again, he never really made that switch into Skytoss, only got the mothership. An ambitious nuke. The hope is that Creator, he wanders into said nuke, but alas, there's just nothing here. Thank God there's no like fallout effect or anything like that. Like, that'd be crazy. As Creator, he does come in for a flank. Percival in a bit of an awkward position. But Creator rotates. We have more Liberators arriving. That's going to be 8 libs in total. That's a lot of freedom. It's a lot of liberation. Zones away the army. Another base goes down, and Creator just cannot engage. He cannot engage. Not into this. Not with the ground focus army. Vikings, they go ham. Show CMPs. Nice CMPs on the Colossus. And with that, oh god, the Prism goes down. No Colossus remaining. Vikings to land. GG gets called, and Percival takes game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, Creator, he was a little bit too passive for my liking. I mean, a couple of different things here. One, if you're going for this mass gateway composition, you do need to have the superior economy. I will say that Percival did a great job early on when it came to dealing economic damage, when it came to the Widowmine drops, when it came to the early harassment. Creator himself was struggling to really recover from those early losses, and we saw that Percival, he was able to hold his own. Coming into the mid game, we had a little bit more of a back and forth here. We saw that Creator, he was stuck. He got stuck on, even though he was maxing out on Colossus based composition. Ideally, as the game progresses, you want to get out of Colossus. You want to get out of Colossus because your opponent has all these Vikings into Disruptors instead. We never saw a switch into Disruptors. Like, that is the go-to in this kind of game state, because EMP shut down High Templar and Vikings shut down Colossus. So Disruptors, they're the one thing that you can use to buy time, to zone away the army, to take fights, and to allow yourself to get into proper Skytoss, which is what I assumed was going to be coming with Tempest, with the mothership, but it was only ever the mothership. Never really invested too hard into it, was stuck with a subpar army, got outscaled. did get outscaled. GG, well played. With that, congratulations here to Percival, as we are now getting into game number 2, loading into ley lines. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself, the South Korean Protoss, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is a creator. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran. It is Percival, leading the series 1-0. Let's go. Creator's greed didn't pay. Yes, in regards to the opener, if you remember, Creator, he went for a 2-gate opener. He went 2 gates into a 3rd base. Early on, he did fall behind. We emphasized how the entire purpose of the opener and the build was to get an economic lead, but he fell behind economically, and he fell behind tech-wise as well, because he delayed his tech in favor of the faster 3rd base. So it was a really rocky start for Creator. So I mentioned that Percival did have the stronger early game. Creator, he did stabilize. He did eventually max out and stabilize, but again, with that maxing out, with that stabilization, he kind of was stuck on a subpar composition as well. Was stuck in the mid game. And now we're getting into game number 2. Can we do Gamba for game 2? No Gamba, no Gamba. This is a replay cast. These matches are less than 24 hours old. These matches occurred yesterday. For those that are just now tuning in, we did mention usually we cast KSL live, but we weren't able to yesterday, just because we were casting Stellarfest. If you recall, we were covering Stellarfest. We were the B stream, so because we were covering Stellarfest, we couldn't cover KSL, or we chose not to cover KSL. So we're here less than 24 hours later with those matches. Here we go. So far, we do have an initial opener. Once again, economic start out of Percival, going for a Rax expand, going for a delayed factory. Meanwhile, Stargate out of Creator. Okay. This is not a normal opener, not anymore. This is very out of favor and out of fashion. But it does go for the Stargate, and we'll see if he can go unscouted. As the Reaper dips in. And the Reaper should confirm. And it gets 1 probe kill, nicely done. Adept has right, the Adept zones away, and Reaper does fail to scout. Yeah, 0 scouting out of Percival. Doesn't get in. And this is important, actually. Now, with the Stargate, we can open up Phoenix or Oracle. We can look for damage or look to gain map control or both. Now, what are the pros and cons of Stargate play? The biggest con here is that you are vulnerable to all-ins, right? You're vulnerable to more aggressive builds. But aggressive builds have been falling out of favor. They've been falling out of the meta, right? We've been seeing more and more mid-game play in TVP over the past month, if not a couple of weeks. We're seeing more mid-game, less all-ins. So if this doesn't get scouted, there's a very high chance that Percival just expands and doesn't go for an early timing. And if that happens, Creator, he will gain map control, he will contain the Terran, and be able to snowball from there in the mid game. So this has a lot of potential. Does have a lot of potential here, as it is unscouted. Phoenixes are revealed. Does get 1 probe, 2 in total. That's going to be for a Reaper, Hellion, and a Marine. And now here come the Phoenixes. Percival back at home, he's setting up. He's setting up his Widow Mines even. Where are we borrowing? Okay, behind the building racks. Phoenixes dip in. Up! Mine shots do not connect. And now the problem here with the opener and the problem with delayed scouts is ideally we would have never seen a Widow Mine drop, because Widow Mines, they're contained. Now we cannot actually drop across the map. So the opener, the build of Percival, gets shut down. It is shut down. The Phoenixes do successfully contain. They contain the drops here back at home. And we have the Bay on the way for Colossus. So Phoenix Colossus here by Creator, again very old school. This was very meta, and this was the build to go for a couple of years actually, for 2020, 2021, 2022. The initial COVID years of StarCraft. It was all about Phoenix Colossus, and very rarely did we see deviation. Coming into 2023 is when we saw more like 3-gate blink, 4-gate blink play. Creator does pull away. Does pull away. We're massing on more Vikings, getting into a 3-1-1 setup into Stim. So early Stim, obviously tanks are not required, right? Like you need tanks against Blink Stalker play, against Twilight Councils, against Stargate openers, no tanks needed. So Percival, he's building up. Likewise, so is Creator. Now, for all Percival knows, it could be Phoenix Colossus, it could be Phoenix into Charge, right? It's not uncommon to go into a very Zealot-heavy, Gateway-heavy follow-up with Mass Zealot.
Add-on complete.
As Percival, he's hunting for the Phoenixes. And does go for an early push, actually. Okay, he's committing. Very early move out. Stim is almost done. Stim will finish by the time the army gets across the map. We're just rallying everything, just mass amount of DPS, Vikings, Marines, Widow Mines. First Colossus has arrived, and can Creator keep it safe? Here come the Vikings. They get 1 volley off, they get 2. 3 volleys connect. That's the first Widow Mine to save, trying to force friendly fire. Ooh. Creator does split. Nice splits out of Creator. Starfire's buying time. Buying more time. Very nice force fields catching out the Marines. Marines get caught. Oh, Colossus taking a lot of hits. Barely gets away. Barely pulls back in time. And Creator defends. Oh. Creator, he does hold, he does defend. The Colossus is finally going to go down, but it's gone down so late. It was still worth it. It did pay for itself. Second Colossus has arrived. And now we see a very delayed third base here for Percival. I mean, he's at least expanding, but he has bled out so many units already. So many here. Speaking of, the final Viking goes down. Limited anti-air. Percival, he will lose everything. The Marauders. The Widow Mines. Oh, meanwhile, okay. We were distracted. So was Creator. That's going to be 8 kills here on the first Liberator. Likewise, second Liberator into the main. 17 probe kills. That should not have happened. Again, we were distracted. Creator was distracted. This is critical damage. 17, 18, 9, 20. 20 probes. That's over a mineral line, and Creator is committed. He's committed. He has to move out. That was insane damage. But when it comes to the main army, I have to favor Creator. Like Creator, he has the stronger main army. Yes, he's been crippled economically, but he's up 20 army supply. Does lift. Does lift. Mine shot. Ooh, does go off. One Widow Mine connects. But now he's built up to 2 Colossus, and again, Creator, he has to break this position. He has to break the third. If not even just end the game. As Creator is just running back the army, started stepping in. Oof. Threatens a mineral line. And he gives chase. Yeah, he gives chase. And again, Percival, he doesn't really have much of a standing army here. He's trying to hold on, but here come more reinforcements. Colossus, they stay back. There's 4 Vikings. But they can't do anything. Maybe the third base goes down. 14 SCV kills. Creator does successfully get some counter damage done. And now he can back off. He can back off, but he doesn't. Now we're up to 3 Colossus. More Stalkers on the way. Nice EMP. Very nice EMP. Creator, he shuffles his units well. He wants his Vikings. There's again 3 Vikings left. Down to 2. Down to 1. Yeah, and he's on it. Like Creator, he just keep pushing. And the one thing threatening Creator here is the Viking count. Like the Vikings are holding the line here for Percival. He's trying to hold on. Does try that positioning, gets 1. Gets 1 Colossus. Nice movement there with the Vikings. Very nice movement. As Creator's getting a 4th. So maintaining that economy. 3rd Colossus has arrived. So far, it does get a Colossus. First, he gets a pickoff. But again, he's so much more committed here. 4 CC has begun. Okay, we're rallying in Ghost. EMPs, there's no recall. When she overcharge. Oh, the save though. The control. Creator, he saves the Colossus. He's giving chase. The Liberators are trying to siege up. But not enough momentum. Yeah, the Liberators are going to go down. They're going to be targeted. They're going to be targeted. One of them does fall. Creator running out of zealots. Does run out. Hey, Liberators are the MVPs earlier. Once again, they hit the 4th base. Diving the Colossus, gets 1, gets 2. It takes the snipes both Colossus, not bad. Depowers the Robo. Depowers the Gateways as well, and he does get away. A very nice dive here from Percival, very necessary as well. Again, Percival, he was behind. He's blowing his way back in. He's still in this map, he's still in this. Este Percival. Building up. Building up. First, sorry, Creator, he does rotate around, does catch a couple of medevacs, not bad. So far, Liberator Harass is a little bit less effective, and Creator's going to be the first to max out. Now, again, it's been an intense back and forth so far between these two players. Percival is getting his 4th base. You mentioned before that he was at a deficit, that he was behind. Catching 2 Colossus did help quite heavily, of course, but Creator's still the first to max out. Still going to be the first to max out. What's important is that he has a lower Colossus count, but he has now High Templar in the mix. He now has a 2nd Robo. Storm is finishing up as well. Is going into no disruptors, but a more immortal heavy follow-up here. And it's going to be on Percival to turtle. Like, he has lost map control. At this point, he has lost map control. He's turtling up back at home. That's why we see SimCity, Sensor Towers. We should be seeing depots as well to wall up and wall off. Should be seeing that soon, once we have the money for it. As Percival is still maxing. Fusion Core is on the way for Liberator range. Again, we are entering the late game. As we mentioned at the start of the series, it is much more common to end up in this kind of game state nowadays, as the meta has shifted over the past month. Much more common. As Percival does stem in. He gets into the middle, and nice EMP. No recall. And no defensive recall. The army races back home. At the same time, Zealots, they try to get across the map. They run into planetaries. Ooh, and that's going to be 9 probes falling. Ay, ay, ay. "14 probes even as well. Creator getting pulled apart here. He's getting torn apart. Leading out Archons. Leading out more units. Creator, he responds to the main army. Which means the drop in the main base is getting more damage, by the way. Killing pylons. Ooh, Brutal Storm. Oh, no, he stands in the storm. He stands in the storm. Yeah. And with that, he will lose everything. Yeah, Percival, he will lose the main army. At the same time, the drop is still being active, but there's not much left when it comes to the drop. Oof. The storms with the EMPs, sorry, with the MVPs back. Let's go. As Creator, he does gain momentum. He's moving out. The planetary is not done. Creator is pushing in. Does he go for the base? Oh, I mean, he does force a cancel. Yeah, he cancels the planetary. Can he kill the CC? Not quite. Does not try to target down. CC will escape. Trying to dive in. Oh. Does try to dive. The boys are being pulled. Percival is getting desperate, and Creator, it looks like he has done it. He's gained momentum, moving in, taking better fights, better trades. The boys are doing what they can. They're tanking some of the shots, but Percival, he is broken. GG gets called, and Creator, he ties up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. A very intense back and forth here. Again, Creator, who was able to take some better fights, so able to take some better engagements, overall take a lead. We saw that Percival, he did have some very strong moments himself when it came to harassing across the map with Liberators, when it came to pushing between the bases as well, catching out the Colossus, but it wasn't quite enough to give him the momentum he needed to recover, to fully even things up. We saw that he was tearing Creator apart towards the end of the game until he stood in the storms, until he lost the main army. Once he lost the main army, there was nothing stopping Creator from pushing out, from counterattacking. GG, well played. And with that, we're now getting into the ace match. We're loading into Pylon for game number 3. Let's go. Let us go. Let's go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner here of Pylon, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss tying up the series 1-1. Force in the ace match, it is Creator. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran himself, also from South Korea. It is Percival. go, as we are going to be settling in. We do have a creator here on the right-hand side, getting ready for his own proxy. Okay, so a very cheeky opener here. Very cheeky. Oh, it's like let's go. Proxy Gates versus Proxy Racks. Vamonos, papi, vamonos. Now, remember, it's 2 Racks Reaper. 1 Racks at home, 1 across the map. This is very uncommitted here by Percival. So he will have some reinforcements back at home, but it's still going to be a bit of an awkward defense for the Terran player. Likewise, awkward for the Protoss, because we have 1 gateway at home and also 1 gateway across the map as well. This should be Zealot first, I believe. Yep, Zealot first into a Proxy Stalker, into Adept. So Zealot, Stalker, Adept here by Creator. Meanwhile, we have, oh, Marine. Uh-oh. Are we going Proxy Marauder? Okay, so we are committing a little bit harder here. CC on the low ground, gas is being mined from, and what are we making across the map? Are we going for the add-on? Yep, Tech Lab Marauder. So Proxy Marauder hits late. And Creator will hit first. Here comes Creator. There's that Stalker. So Zealot Stalker, double Stalker actually, not Adept. Which means that reinforcing Stalker is going to be later. Here comes Concussive Shell. Zealot's waddling in. And the first Stalker's already arrived. And I'll be honest, there's nothing to kill the Stalker, I should emphasize. Like, this Stalker should bully everything here. Boys are being pulled, and Percival, this may just be a build order loss, to be honest. May just be a build order loss here as 2 Marines go down. There's 1 Marine left. Now we have more Stalkers, and again, there should never be a world where any of these Stalkers die. As there's no factory, there's no Marauder. I mean, 1 Stalker gets surrounded, so that is miscontrol by Creator. But it's a little bit sloppy. It's fine though. Like, again, there's nothing. There's just nothing here. Pappy breaks into the main base. More boys are being pulled. There's 1 Marine left. Marine is going to be targeted down. And again, there's just 0 army units, only SCVs. Sure, there's 1 Marauder across the map, but that means nothing. That means nothing. Again, it was a very intense back and forth series, with both game 1 and game 2 getting into a longer game state. But here in the ace match, like, it's just a really brutal game here, a really brutal build for Percival. As the CC is perpetually delayed. Adept has arrived. Again, there's only 1 Marine to defend. We lost 8 SCVs in the defense. We have more Stalkers, more reinforcements on the way. Does keep the Marine alive. Now there are 2 Adepts. Oof. And Adepts, they can tank Marauder shots. They can tank. Get another Marine. And here, Percival, he's on Copian. He's huffing a bit. He's huffing quite a lot of Copian back. We have zero mining, 0 economy, down to 11 SCVs. Not like this. Not like this. And again, I mean, we just gambled, right? Like, the gamble was real. As blindly was setting up for the Proxy Marauder. Percival down to 13 SCVs, up against 30 probes of Creator. Yo, but mules though, true. With even economy, but we got mules. Okay. As we're catching reinforcements, catching up the Marauder. Brutal pickup. Brutal pickup. And this is the last push. The real final wave here from Percival, the final move out. He's going to do whatever he can with his army. What does he have to work with? He has 3 Marauders, 3 Marines. He has an army up against a shield battery, up against Immortals. Creator is perfectly fine. He's perfectly fine here. He can just, hey, move. Yeah, GG. GG gets called, and Creator, he takes the series 2-1. He does advance on to the grand finals. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Creator, he does claim the series. Again, it was very intense back and forth. I loved both game 1 and game 2. We were able to embrace the longer, later game as well. Here in game 3, just build order win. Build order win. It was a proxy 2 gate out of Creator, 1 at home, 1 across the map. Meanwhile, proxy 2 racks out of Percival, but it was proxy Marauder. One of the racks was Marauder, so again, it's so delayed. The Marauders are hit so much later, and of course, they cannot defend, they cannot help you out. So with Stalkers, of course, there was no real reason to lose a Stalker against the Marines. One Stalker did get surrounded by the SCV, so a little bit of miscontrol there by Creator, a little bit messy in the execution, but overall, still overwhelmed. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have our 2 finalists. With that, we have the grand finals. It's going to be a best of 5 between Creator and Classic. Oh boy. Here we go. As again, typically the champion, the winner, the player that dominates these KSLs is Hero. Hero, he's won like 95% of KSLs in 2025. It's crazy. I think he's on those 3. I think only 3 KSLs haven't been won by Hero, and 2 of them he didn't even play in. Like that's the reason why. Is the reason. There's one KSL that he did lose against Classic in the finals. I think that was the week before EWC. I think it was the week before Esports World Cup, if I recall correctly. But outside of that, it has been in favor of Hero, but Hero isn't here. Again, this is one of the rare times that Hero is not available. So instead, we do have that best of 5 finals between Classic and Creator. Let's go.